I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman describing her suicide attempt as ordinary, like brushing my teeth. In an attempt to answer the question, why did I do it? She tells her life story. We're about a third through book 4, whose working title is Eyes of Different Colors. Thanks for having patience for the repeating material, although I don't think any of you guys have experienced the repeats. I'm working through a new order for this section of the book and doing edits as I go along. Last week, Ava dropped out of her college program in advertising and went to an anarchist meeting. This chapter is called Knird Doof, and we're continuing with that chapter. I become that guy. I couldn't stay away from Knird Doof a second time. Apprehension and excitement grip my throat as we approach. Since we arrive from the other side, I don't see the billboard-sized black and white psychedelic painting attached to Knird Doof's white clapboard wall, but I know it's there. An attractive, tall, brown-haired guy with a warm and welcoming smile brings out wooden chairs for us and sets them in a circle. There aren't enough, no matter. Sitting on the floor is punk. Who wants a beer? Come on, you can't sit here without buying a beer. Support the cause, he says. I take in the dirty and scuffed, well, everything. Walls, floors, windows of this art gallery. It's in a long room that at one time had double doors in the middle, like my first Release apartment. Bold abstracts and paintings of skulls surround us. Fuck capitalism, says it's not really a canvas, but a broken board painted black. The jagged edges tan and lined where the top piece of the board was pulled away from the bottom. I gaze in awe. Who'd have the courage to make art on an old broken board? Who'd have the courage to hang it in a gallery? Genius and revolution are all around me, and I'm so incredibly, inconceivably tiny. I couldn't scream on canvas, board, I mean. My lines would hesitate and falter. They'd be too thin, too non-bright, too... Someone painted fuck capitalism on an old board, and now it's hanging in an art gallery. I slug my beer and listen to a redhead describe last weekend's punk show. Nazi suicide played right here where I'm sitting. The cops came. Genius. The tall brunette, Johnny, who's the owner of Knird Doof, shows me to the bathroom. I wish he could be in my eyes, or more accurately, my head, sitting right behind my soul's windows as I suck in the brilliance all around me. I'm cracked and brittle, a crumbling sponge revived with Knird Doof's water. No, revived by a coffee spill, yeah, punk rock. Splattered on a cafe sidewalk, peppered with broken shards of mug mixing with piss, snot, and pigeon shit. An overly sugared coffee, liquid nonetheless. My eyes suck up this angry celebration like my life depends on it. Maybe it does. I know that a pale, timid, and empty specter like myself has no business being here among these gods. Do you want to see the whole house? Johnny asks when I exit the washroom. I'm thankful there was soap in there because I had to use my hand to wipe. I'm not complaining. Knird, doof, and anarchism are beyond establishment accoutrements like toilet paper. My eyes grow large and I nod enthusiastically. Fade in. Exterior sidewalk outside Ava's house, afternoon. Long shot. Ava stands with Johnny's sister, Mary, late 30s, extremely overweight, limp brown hair cut short. Mary wears a faded, formless dress, red with a pattern of small flowers. She has a large cotton bag over her shoulder, blue with flowers and faded like her dress. A corner of bright gold paper sticks out. Super. Late September, 2 weeks after I quit advertising school. Mary digs in her pocket and hands Ava something. Mary, here. Ava, what? Mary, it's for you. Medium shot, Ava looks up at Mary, confused, then down at what we see is a necklace in Ava's hand. Close up, a square gold pendant containing an oval opal with a small round diamond above it, attached to a gold chain. The pendant rests in the center of Ava's palm and the chain hangs down from her hand. Close up, Ava's surprised face looking back at Mary. Ava, it's beautiful. Ava, voiceover. It's also bizarre, and I wonder where she got it. It's not my style. It's not her style. Did she steal it? That looks like real gold and opal. Greed sparks in Ava's eyes. Zoom out to head and shoulder shot. Ava puts the necklace on. She speaks fast and low-pitched. Ava, voiceover. If I'm wearing it, she'll be less likely to change her mind. Except for Julian, I don't think anyone's ever given me a present without a reason. Ava looks up, presumably at Mary. Ava, thank you. Mary, off screen. It suits you. The background blurs until it encroaches on the sides of Ava's head and shoulders, and she speaks, looking directly at the camera. Ava, I've been helping Mary with a housing protest she's organizing. She's not gay, as far as I know. Maybe the necklace is her way of saying that I shouldn't care that Johnny rejected me, that she wishes that at 26, I wasn't too old for her 28-year-old brother. Fade to black. Shortly after that first night at Knird Doof, I spent several glorious hours in Johnny's exclusive gaze. When we made our way upstairs to his single futon amongst the secondhand furniture and dirty laundry, however, he couldn't get hard. He likes teenagers, someone, not Mary, told me a few weeks later. I think it was the redhead who talked about Nazi suicide. I took solace in those words. At least I can compete with teenagers. At least he considers me, even though I'm 6 years older than a teenager. It wasn't long before I learned that Johnny had a girlfriend. 16-year-old East Indian Mina was out of town when I was with Johnny. She was at her father's funeral. He had killed himself. It was easy for Mary or anyone to see how much I liked her brother. Starstruck, pie-eyed, a 12-year-old in a 26-year-old's body, wanting so much more than love, home, approval, a parent, I suppose. The owner of Knird Doof, it doesn't get more perfect and illustrious than that. I don't think any of this. I was working on instinct, or what was left of it. A woman finds herself in her man. Why do we remove the self of girls and replace it with that? Mary and Johnny's mother is the president of a province-wide Roman Catholic anti-abortion organization. Yet both Mary and Johnny are non-practicing, pro-abortion political activists on welfare. The polar opposite of their mother, and a lot like me. The first time I meet Mina, it's only a glimpse as she runs through Knird Doof crying. Short and chubby, her skin glows velvety pale brown and her long black hair flows behind her. She wears all black. I bow to her power, her father's suicide flying over my head like a missed punchline. 6 months later, I'll see her sobbing again on one of my new friend's steps because her mother won't let her come home, and for the first time I'll realize how desperate her life is and what an idiot I am for wishing I could be her. At the moment of meeting her, though, I don't consider how desolate it would be to have a boyfriend who tries to fuck another girl while you're at your dad's funeral. All I think is, all my id lizard brain brainstem fixes on is desirability, youth, and prestige. Mina has them all in the environment of Knird Doof. I have nothing.